Hi, it's Alisa from The Ripple Effect. Happy Thursday, everyone. Something I wanted to share with you today, something I learned a bit the hard way yesterday. This is not a new concept, but it's basically when you're getting information from someone and it's something you don't want, they're telling you a story or some kind of information that is you feel triggered by. I learned yesterday that my peace of mind, of course, is paramount, and we want to trust and, of course, acknowledge and validate whatever someone is saying to us. But at the same time, I learned that it's really important to have discernment when someone is sharing secondhand information with us, because they may not intentionally do so, but they may not elaborate accurately, and that can really change the outcome or the results of the story, especially if it's going to affect you. And so I had this situation yesterday with a colleague who was relaying some information to me, and the conversation started with, "Alisa, you're not going to like this." And of course, I'm like, "Oh my gosh, oh no." And 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 I didn't like it. It was definitely presented to me in a way that I felt it felt really bad. It was not something I wanted, and I was pretty frustrated, and I expressed that. So I, in and of myself, am just super frustrated, and I can just feel my chest getting really tight, and just feeling very angry and bitter and resentful and all those words. And then I had a conversation with, we'll just say, the horse's mouth after that, and the situation was presented to me in a much different light, with a lot more grace, and it was just presented in a way that was actually, I thought, well done. I mean, this is a difficult situation that's going on, and I was given a lot more respect than I was imagining. And so what I want to say is, I walked out of that situation feeling, I wouldn't say ashamed of myself, but feeling like, gosh, that's one of those situations where it would have been a real service to myself if, and I would have saved myself a lot of heartache and pain and discomfort if I had just paused when this person was giving me this sort of negative information. And if I had thought to myself, let me just make sure I'm getting accurate information here before I react. Let me go to the source and make sure that this is indeed exactly how it's going to happen, and let me just make sure I understand really what's going on here. But instead, I kind of lost it a little bit, and I felt terrible. I felt terrible while I was getting upset. I felt terrible after, and and the whole point is even though that was probably a normal response to what I was hearing, I felt like later it was really unnecessary for me just to do that to myself, to go into that negative mindset. So I really wanted to encourage you, as I'm always encouraging myself, that when we're navigating these lives and we're working with people, and in whatever part of our lives we're interacting, I think it would be really great for us, again, myself included, to, they call it practicing the pause, and, seeking first to understand. And there's a lot of wisdom in that, because we never want to ever act out on other people, but we also don't want to act out on ourselves. We don't want to cause ourselves undue stress. And that's really my point, is I wanted so badly to feel better, and I eventually did. I kind of got still, and I paused, and I prayed, and I really focused in on what was going on, and I asked for, divine assistance. And I definitely started feeling better, but I just don't want us to do that to ourselves in the first place. It was a really good learning situation, but I thought, Alyssa, I know better. I know better. And so with that really strong, gentle but strong reminder from God, universe, spirit, going, hey, let's just breathe and let's just see how this shakes out. Let's, go with the flow, give people the benefit of the doubt. If we don't like what we're hearing, maybe just, put a little to be determined sticky on it, so to speak, and let's see if we can find out more information before we let it worry us, before we let it affect our day, before we think anything upsetting. And it's ultimately for our own peace of mind. And aren't we worth it? Isn't that worth it? It's really about how we perceive things. And I really look back and think, gosh, if I had just listened and took note and thought, okay, let me find out more information. It would have just made me feel better. And I think I would have not been upset with myself for getting so upset. So for those of you who tend to be more sensitive and feelers like me, I think you'll understand what I'm getting at. Anyway, so let's be kind to ourselves. And I really feel like the more kind and gentle we are with ourselves and the more grace we show ourselves, we will naturally be kinder and gentler and more understanding to those in our lives. I never used to see it that way. I used to wish that people would just be kind to me. And I always thought I did my best to be kind to them, but I never really thought about being kind to myself, and then I'm going to attract people who will be kind to me. It was a whole shift. So we'll start with ourselves, right? It's an inner job. It's inner work. Let's love ourselves. We actually do love ourselves. We just forget when we're in human bodies. So let's remind ourselves that we are already love. We were created in love. We already love ourselves, and let's practice that. So with that, I wish all of you a beautiful, wonderful weekend. Thank you so much for your time and watching and listening, and I look forward to talking with you soon. Take care.